what I would like to cover is, we need to look at, as governor, as any elected official in the state of Louisiana, we need to look at the entire state when we're spending the entire state's money. All too often, I'm from the South. I'm from South Jefferson Parish. That is my home. That's where I was born and raised. But I don't think the people in Shreveport, Monroe, Bossier City, Alexandria should have to foot the bill for things that are only going to benefit New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and the Gulf Coast. If it affects you, we should all have a part in making sure that it works. But fiscal responsibility is going to be, the biggest challenge of the next governor is going to be to fix this mess that they've created over the past 20 years. It's not just the last 4 years. It's the last 20 years that we've been making this mess. We've been allocating and taking and tying up the state's money on things that don't make sense because we had great years. The oil business was booming. The money was coming in. We tied up all that money. Well, now that the oil business is going down, we see this lack of revenue coming in, but we still got these high demands on these bills because we got the Ferrari, we've got the boat, we've got everything. Well, those bills still keep coming because we're living like we did when we were making that money. Well, now we're not. So we have to look back and we have to reprioritize everything that we're doing. We have to look at every individual area. We need to work with the municipalities to solve their issues. We need to work with the parish governments to help them solve their issues because there's no way the state can solve all the issues throughout the state on their own. It's going to take a unified effort through all the local and parish governments along with the state. But we need leadership. Leadership is what we're lacking in every level of government throughout this country. This is a position of power now. It's not a position of service. We need people. Look, I'm a middle-class American. I've worked hard all my life, and I know what it takes to survive. And, my time in the Marine Corps has taught me how to work with people from every walk of life. I can sit here and talk to the poorest man on the street and have a wonderful conversation. I can get billionaires in the room, and I can talk educated with those guys just as well as anything. But it's going to take a leader who can do that can cross the party lines from Republican to Democrat. And I'm running as an independent in this race because I believe both of the parties, they got their own agendas. I believe that somebody needs to represent the agenda of the people, and that's me. I would love to be the people's candidate for governor. I will work tirelessly to make sure that we have a voice. For so many years, people have been despondent, non-participant in this, in our government and democracy because they feel like they do not have a voice. Well, I'm going to tell you, middle-class America has a voice now, and it's me. And I will do the things necessary to make sure that their voice is heard. Small businesses have been taxed crazily. They make it difficult to survive. So we need to make sure that the government is doing what they can to help small business excel, to become a big business. And we need to do the things to help them grow. It's like nurturing your children. You don't want to hold them down. You want them to do better than you did. You want them to have more than you had. But the only way to do that is to nurture them, not just give it to them. And I believe that we need to raise our society. We need to make them self-sustaining. We need to encourage them to do better. We need to want them to be more. They want them to feel like they have to serve our society. We all live in a democracy. We all need to participate in our democracy to really have our issues brought to the forefront. So now, as I come up through, the middle class has a voice, and it's a voice of reason. And it looks at it from a standpoint of I don't have $15 billion, but I know how to spend wisely what I do have, and I'm going to do it conservatively because I am not spending my money, I'm spending your money. And the only way I can be a good shepherd of that is to make sure I do what's best for the people and look long term and not just short term. So I hope that you would consider me on October 24th. I am a voice of reason. I'm a middle-class working American Christian man, and I believe that the morals and values that we supply should be the stepping stones, and education needs to be on the forefront of anything that we do because without a great foundation, everything else doesn't matter. And I appreciate the opportunity you gave me to be here today.